What do you mean by that? Hey, this is Jared.
And I'm Genna, and this is...
What do you mean by that? It's a podcast about two performers that just happen to be married.
I'm going to be completely honest, I can't think of one to do.
Ah, that's not fun. Well, speaking of two podcasters that happen to be married, that's kind of what our whole topic is today on our podcast. We're going to play a little game of just like fun games to ask couples.
Yeah, do y'all remember like 2012, like peak YouTube days where everyone was doing like boyfriend, girlfriend tags or best friend tags or like married couple tags? That's kind of what we're doing today.
You're aging us a lot.
Well, okay, that's... They know how old we are.
All right. Do you want me to start off?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. What traffic sign best describes me on a bad day?
Which traffic sign describes you?
Yeah.
Oh, on a bad day.
On a bad day.
I mean, the first one that comes to mind is a stop sign. Is that too basic? But I feel like on a bad day, you're just
Did I just say stop?
I feel like on a bad day, you're just like, everything stop. I just need everything pause, on hold, just stop for a minute.
Really? All right. How would I react to a flying cockroach?
Screaming.
Can you give us a...
And then you would kill it.
Can you give us like a scream?
Like your scream?
Yeah.
You're like, ah!
Oh my gosh.
Sorry to anyone's ears if you're...
Yeah. We'll put a little warning. Okay.
Let me ask you one.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, this one's a good one for me. If your spouse could domesticate any animal and keep it as a pet, what would they choose?
Almost anything. I'm gonna go with a quokka though.
Oh yeah.
Or a mongoose.
A mongoose.
Yeah.
I do like mongoose.
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 All right. All right. Who out of the both of us is more competitive?
Probably you.
Really?
Yeah. I would like to say me, and I am kind of competitive, but I feel like at the end of the day, you're going to actually keep pushing through until you accomplish, and I'll just be like, eh.
I'll leave a rebuttal for that later.
Oh, dear.
I believe whenever we're playing games, she's the one that's like, I can never win.
Oh, video games are different.
All right. Who would survive longer in a zombie apocalypse, and why?
You.
Why?
You're more resourceful. and smarter.
How long do you think that you would last?
I think I would last a while, but I think I would last as long as I did because of you.
How long do you think I would last?
I think you would last pretty long.
What do you think I would die of in a zombie apocalypse?
Probably saving someone else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you would sacrifice
I had
yourself.
A friend once say, I would die of old age.
In a zombie apocalypse?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone dies of old age in that.
What?
Okay. Oh, I want to know this. Which piece of clothing of mine do you hate the most?
Okay, so you haven't worn this in a while.
Oh, no.
But she has this Oscar the Grouch looking Sherpa that has her monogram on it. And it's green and it's dingy. And she wore it during college. And I always was like, that is a very specific choice. I had a relative once that had slippers that matched the Sherpa, and she got them from Burger World. And I said, what is Burger World? And let me tell you, it looked like something that would come from a market called Burger World. And I don't know where Genna got this Sherpa, but I think she got it from Burger World.
I did not get it from Burger World. I got it for Christmas.
Oh, gosh. Sorry, whoever out there is listening.
Okay. Who is more likely to get into a street brawl and win?
Probably me.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Like, I would be like, hey, if like someone was following us or something, and I'll be like, run.
Yeah, probably.
And it would go south from there. Do I think I would win the street brawl? It depends.
Okay. What is my weirdest habit?
Weirdest habit? Oh my gosh. I feel like you have a couple.
Oh, no.
I feel like there's one that's like right on the tip of my tongue, but I've forgotten. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to circle back to that one.
Okay.
Weirdest habit. All right. We're looking at a list, by the way, and these have a lot of good ones. Who orders the most stuff from Amazon?
You.
Yeah, that's totally me. I'm an Amazon shopper.
To be fair, though, like when we collectively jointly need something, you're usually the one ordering it.
Yeah.
So it kind of evens out because a lot of the stuff does wind up being for me also.
Okay, what about this? What if like I were to go back to college for anything? What do you think I would study?
Psychology.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
What do you think I would study?
I feel like you would still study like more in the arts realm. I almost think I can honestly see you as like an arts and crafts type person, like an artsy fartsy person.
I think I would enjoy that.
Yeah.
I would also like social media marketing. I think now that that's kind of a thing to go to school for, I think I would go to school for that.
But I think that like day-to-day classes, like if you were to go back now after already going to college, I almost feel like you would pick something a little bit more fun.
Yeah, maybe.
Like you would be like, you would get to the marketing side and realize,
yeah, honestly,
you would not want to go.
When numbers come into the marketing side, I'm not interested.
All right, fill in the blank. We are total opposites when it comes to blank.
Oh, how deep can I go with this?
Go for it.
How we handle our emotions.
Oh, gosh. Okay, explain.
Yeah, I'm a very much like initial reaction in the moment, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like a lot of time my initial reaction can kind of get me in trouble, and then I think about it for a while, and I can like it gets twisted in my head, and then I beat myself up over, did I handle this right? Did I do this right? You're usually very much like you take a second to like process what your reaction's going to be, and then you kind of like formulate a response that's more appropriate to the situation. And then once you handle it, you move past it. Like there's no dwelling on, sorry, I just hit my cord. There's no dwelling on it like long term for you. Like you like to wrap things up, and once it's over, it's over. And I'll be like, I don't like confrontation, and you don't really like confrontation either, but like you'd rather get things handled and settled. And I'm like, oh no, I'm just gonna like not talk about it, and then it'll go away. And that's not good.
Moving on, what was the first movie we saw together?
I think it was Finding Neverland.
Oh, was it? Oh, I was thinking like movie we went to go see.
In
and
movie
yeah,
theaters?
but you might be right. I don't know. It might have been Pirates of the Caribbean.
Maybe, but I feel like it might have been Finding Neverland very early on.
Finding Neverland is
like
a good movie.
Our first week of dating, I think we watched that.
It's a great movie.
Movie theater, we went and saw The Grinch, the animated one.
Yes, the Benedict Cumberbatch one.
That was like our first movie theater date.
Interesting. I'll let you ask the next question.
Okay. Ooh. I don't know if I even know the answer to this one. What was the first meal I ever made for you?
That you ever made for me?
Yeah.
Okay, quick story time here.
Oh no.
I usually cook a lot of the meals, especially early on. And in college, we didn't really cook meals that much other than what I made in my microwave.
Yeah, neither one of us had a kitchen in college.
Yeah, so the first meal you specifically made for me, not vice versa.
Yeah.
I guess it would be something at your house.
Probably.
And I mean, not to be too basic, like do like sandwiches count, or do you mean like cooking?
Like a meal, like something I had to cook. Yeah.
That might not have happened until we were married.
We cooked some meals together while we were dating.
Yeah, but it was probably like some of my old recipes that we made together. If like solely you cooking just by yourself.
I think the first thing I can think of that I like made for you, you probably also helped me with, but I made a peach cobbler for you once, and that was like the first time you realized you liked peach cobbler.
That's baking though. Does that count?
I guess not.
And that's not a meal.
Yeah, we
I don't really know.
Really cooked together early on instead of one of us cooking for the other.
I've never thought about this question.
I haven't either.
What do you think the first one that I made for you was?
Probably pizza.
Yeah, I probably did make some
at
pizza,
your house.
like homemade pizza.
Like if we cooked for each other, it would have had to be at your family's house or my family's house.
Well, what was the first memory you have of me?
You know this one. Well, like meeting you in person, it was right before classes started at Shorter when you first came. And I was asked to go let a freshman into the practice rooms because you didn't have a key yet. And I walked over and I saw you waiting and I got nervous because I was like, oh, what if that's not the person I'm
She's
supposed
acting
to
so
meet?
embarrassed right now as if she was like flustered. She wasn't. She was
But
like, nah, I don't want to
I
talk
was
to
like,
this person.
yeah, I didn't want to approach you and be like, are you Jared? And then like, what are the chances that I might be wrong and you weren't Jared? And then that's just embarrassing. So I didn't want to do it.
Mind you, this is her third year in college. By my third year in college, walking into our lobby of our arts building, I was like, yeah, I don't care at all. Like anyone that's in here feels like they're in our domicile, you know?
Turns out you were Jared.
I was.
And yeah, and
because I
let you
introduced
into a
myself.
practice room. But like outside of meeting you in person, my first memory is probably I saw your Instagram before you came to college because we got a list of the new incoming freshmen, and the whole theater department would go and stalk all the new freshmen on Instagram and like share socials and stuff. And
Yeah.
I remember just looking through your Instagram and being like, oh, this guy looks nice. He likes Disney and stuff like that. And then I remember before the day we met, we went into college, and I was eating dinner, and one of our friends was showing me your Instagram, and you had a cover on there, and we listened to your cover together
gosh.
in the cab. And I thought you were really good.
Well, it's so funny. Anytime I post anything of me singing, I'm like, I want people to see this. But then, like, I think of the active thought of someone watching it, like, whether they're chilling at home or just walking by or they're playing it in a public space. And I'm like, ooh.
Like the school cafeteria that you're about to go to.
Yeah, like, where am I being played right now? Like, I try not to think that deeply about it.
I'm so sorry.
Because I'm just, like, making content on my own.
What's your earliest memory of me?
So the great purge, I always say, happens with our department, that they find everyone and follow everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever that started happening, people started trickling in. I started like looking through all of Instagram, and I found your profile. I thought you were taken at the time. And
I was not.
and I also found some other people's profiles, and I remember like seeing like two of our friends like underneath the pews in our church chapel hiding during a class, and I was like, okay, this looks like a pretty fun place to go.
It's funny, I remember also seeing that picture before I was a student at Shorter. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That happened even before you?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
that was way back when.
All right, so out of the two of us, who's the cheapskate?
Me. I hate spending money. Like, do not enjoy it. I like shopping, but I hate spending money. That's the problem.
What? Oh, wait. What was I wearing on our first date?
See, okay, that question's
what was
not
our first date is the
fair
better question.
because we don't know what our first date was. Because when you meet in college and your buildings are literally right next door to each other, and you see each other going to classes, and like you just hang out with each other
and
all
you're
the time,
in musical theater.
And you're in musical theater. There's just no like formal date. Like we went out to dinner with friends a few times, like in double date type situations. But honestly, I think our first like one-on-one formal, like we planned it in advance and went out, was probably like that first Christmas when we went and saw The Grinch, actually, because we went to a movie and we got dinner and we went shopping at the mall and stuff. It's probably that one, but I don't know what you would have been wearing. Probably jeans and your buffalo plaid jacket.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know what I was wearing.
My skinny jeans. I needed to have someone like have an intervention, and no one ever did.
Well, I might have been wearing the Oscar the Grouch Sherpa for all I know.
She wouldn't just wear that. She would wear tucked in leggings to her socks, and then like grandma fluffy slippers.
They were like moccasins.
And they had the little ties on the front, like the little
moccasins.
leather strap.
They were cute at the time. Okay. Do you evenly divide the household chores? And I'm going to add a little tag on that and be like, how do we divide household chores?
I think that we're a little bit less traditional when it comes to like, this is what I do and this is what you do. Mm-hmm. I think that we kind of like go in a rotation. There's some things that we tend to do more just because like, I think it just is on our mind more. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes like with the dusting and such, sometimes I'll do it. And then sometimes you'll be like, I'd rather sweep or something like that. Mm-hmm. Same thing with like doing dishes or just overall cleaning. Like the kitchen area that kind of just goes either or, like whoever's like, yeah, I got the time, I'll just do it.
Yeah, we kind of both chip in with just whatever needs to be done.
And I think that I mean, for us that works because it's like not daunting of like every single time. Like if it was always just me or just you doing the kitchen, like cleaning, I can see where like anytime one of us put something dirty, it would be like, like
yeah.
For the person whose duty that was later, I was like, oh man. So
that is a good way to put
we
it.
divvy it up.
And there's a few things that like I tend to do more of and you tend to do more, and it's either just like because we enjoy it better than other chores, or it just makes it like I do a lot of the laundry, but you take the trash out every time it needs, and so like yeah, it's pretty even. How would I choose to get famous?
I honestly think that you would be an influencer. I think that's what you would want to do, and I think that mainly because of the free products that you would be sent.
I do like freebies.
Not saying that you wouldn't want to be a famous actress or anything, but I think that like that's never been the 1,000% goal for you to be like famous actress.
Yeah.
I think that you've mainly wanted to act as an art, and I feel like you would really love. I don't think that you would necessarily like love the fame of being like an influencer, but I think that the perks that came along with it and the flexibility of getting to travel more and do product brand deals, that's something that's really appealing to you.
It really is. The flexibility would be so nice. Okay,
you want me to ask one?
Yeah.
Which one of us is most likely to end up in jail, and what for?
See, I would say me initially, because I feel like I would just do something impulsively that could get me in trouble. But then I would also say you, because I would feel like you would either step in and try to stop me or step in and try to protect me in a way that could result in you going to jail.
Okay. What about... Oh, I'm trying to think of how to word this one because it's written confusingly. What would you say I have a better sense of? Would you say I have a better sense of humor, a sense of time, a sense of adventure, or common sense?
Probably adventure. Because you're very good about, like, in the moment being like, let's just do it. When we're old, we're going to look back and just wish don't you think you'll look back and wish you had just done it? Like, that's a very you thing to say.
Yeah, I definitely am like, the money will return, but our youth and memories won't. And like, I mean, don't go bankrupt people, but like that's how I always see things. I'm like, let's just do it for now,
do it while we're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not to say that you don't have a good sense of humor or common sense as well.
Ooh, okay, I got this one. It says, what is the most embarrassing thing you've done as a couple? All right, I'm gonna take this one.
Okay. I'm so scared for what you're gonna say.
Oh, this isn't that bad. This isn't that bad. Oh, there's a few? Well, I'll let you answer as well. I'm gonna start with mine. So whenever you are brain rot, dead tired from studying everything, one time I had this ocean spray bottle. If you've ever not bottle, carton. If you ever get like the 6-pack of little ocean spray like cranberry juices or whatever, they come in a little like cardboard box. So one time we were in my room, in my dorm room, and I had like a ripped up box, like a little bit partially ripped up box, and I don't know what started this, probably me, and I like kicked it towards you, and you would like kick it back, and we would like try to hook this box in our foot and like kick it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And this lasted for far too long. I mean, I'm talking about maybe even half an hour.
And we were having far too much fun.
Oh, yeah. This was great.
Laughing, like crying. Like
max 4 hours of sleep in the past 24 hours, if that.
It was so much fun.
It was something. But like, yeah, that was one of those moments. I think there's also like, I mean, there's a lot of like, whenever you're around each other so much, we zone out a lot collectively, like we're old people. And one time whenever we were in Hawaii and we were eating a mango, this is an embarrassing moment that like nobody knows about until now. And we were eating this mango, and let me tell you, the fruit in Hawaii is so much better than anything else. And like it was really good mango, let me tell you. Like that's better than any dessert I've ever had.
It was such a good mango.
But we like zoned out right after cutting up this mango, and we were eating it over the sink. And I think that like multiple minutes passed by where we both collectively realized that we hadn't said anything to each other, and we hadn't like looked at each other or anything. We were just haunched over like the little gremlins we were, just eating like these pieces of mango we cut up.
Well, and not to make us even more embarrassed, but like when we say cut up, it wasn't like little cubes that we were eating with like a fork or something. Like we cut this mango in half and then cut like cubes, but it was still attached as a whole to the skin. So we were like,
I mean, we weren't like we weren't Lady and tramping a mango.
No, like, but you had a half of a mango and I had a half of a mango, and we were like just
we were going to
eating
town.
this
it
like
was
half
very
of a mango at once, not speaking.
It's very caveman.
We were so hungry, so tired, and it was so good.
Oh, it was so good. Let me tell you, like I want to go back just for the mangoes.
Oh yeah, the mangoes and the bagels.
Yeah,
found like freshly made Hawaiian bread, everything bagels. Oh my gosh, sorry, I'm getting distracted. The most embarrassing moment as a couple that came to my mind was, so we used to work together and like every day me and you going to work together, coming home together, like we were together 24/7, and it was great. But we were also both in leadership positions at this particular job, and we were tasked with making like a prop for this job, and we were using a microwave.
Oh gosh.
And the microwave was like right under the smoke detector, and we had not been properly trained in making this prop, and it did not go well, and it made a mess, and the
prop that she's talking about is microwaving soap.
Yes, it was a bad idea. No one should have ever been asked to do it. All around terrible. We should not have been entrusted with this. And also, the microwave was like a janky, old, crusty microwave that was bound to catch on fire one day anyway. But it went off, set the fire alarm off. The whole building had to evacuate, customers, employees, everything. And me and Jared were just in the back like, yeah, we just did that.
Yeah, it was crazy. We had to evacuate the entire building.
It was so funny.
Not the brightest moment.
It was so... Looking back, it's kind of hilarious that we did that to that place.
All right, who is the bigger flirt out of the two of us?
You.
Explain.
Just, you're more flirtatious. I like do not know how to flirt to the point that like in college an upperclassman had to be brought into one of our classes to teach me how to flirt because I was so bad at it. And yeah, like I think the only reason you were like interested in me at all is because I didn't flirt with you.
Well, she kicked me, that's for sure. She would kick like, the kneecap, like the back of the kneecap randomly.
But if I'm mean to you, I like you.
Yeah, she's one of those.
And then you're a friendly guy. So you're the bigger flirt.
So, okay, would you say that your spouse is the one that married up, or did you marry up? I feel self-glorifying asking that question.
I know, like, I would say I married up.
But I would also say that.
I think that's healthy.
Yeah.
I think if either one of us were like, no, you married up, then...
That's not great.
Then that's a red flag right there.
All right, and I'll round it off with the same question you asked me. How do you think that I would choose to get famous if I wanted to get famous?
Oh, through performing, acting, singing, any of it. Just performing.
Just the arts.
Well, like the arts in general, but probably specifically like in film. Like that's kind of where your talents have been kind of leading you.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you'd be very good at it too.
And I think that it also goes into the travel, like wonder aspect of me too. I'd love to go places and sets and different experiences.
And films are such a big commitment, but they also like it's a big commitment for like a couple months at most, and then you either have something lined up directly after, or you might have a few months where you just don't have to do anything, and it doesn't matter because if you're in big movies and stuff, if you're famous like the question asked, then you have enough money to take a few months off.
And I feel like films are like one of those frozen in time things. I mean, we've both felt this in theater, is like whenever a show ends or you've really connected with the cast or something, it's like, man, I really want to go back to this, and every time you watch, you're like, oh, I'm back in that moment. I feel like with a film it's so much more like, live theater wasn't meant to be watched, just streamed and such. Mm-hmm. It's so much better being there. I mean, I've watched a ton of bootlegs, I've watched a ton of like pro shots, and I love it, but being there is something different.
It's a participation sport.
Exactly. But watching a movie, I mean, I feel Like some people have to go to the cinema. Cinema. Some people have to go to the cinema to feel very involved. I love going to movie theaters. But sometimes just like turning on a movie that I didn't know I was going to connect with so well and just being in the comfort of my own living room is just like a beautiful thing. And it would be so cool to be a part of like that, you know?
Yeah. I felt that, like, I'm going off on another tangent, but like we've been watching a show recently and it's like, it instantly, first episode, it drew me in, and it's been a while since I've watched a show or a movie like that, and we've just been chilling watching it at home, and I've been like, so like, I want to go finish the episode that we paused to film this or to record this podcast right now, because I'm so invested in what's happening in the story.
And like there's pluses and minuses to both worlds, because I know like a lot of people are like, no, don't go into film because like you're a theater actor and that's like more raw, like you have to, you know, you're in there in the moment and there's no redos, which I get, and I don't think I will ever give up theater for anything, but like with filming, it gives you that creative balance of starting something from the ground up, because with a lot of musicals, unless you're doing like a workshop that you're the first, you know, original, there's like a predisposition of what a character should and shouldn't be, and even if you do a great performance of it, unless it gets out to like the major art communities, a lot of people will still be like, yeah, but that's different than I wanted, because I've seen this show, you know? And I mean, that's an awesome challenge to take on. Sometimes it's really nice to have that, like, you know, those reference points. But sometimes, like, especially in film, whenever a lot of it is just original work where you're the only person who will and may ever play that character again, you get to start something from the ground up, and then you just kind of leave it there. And, you know, you'll never see the beginning, middle, and ending of that one character's entire story. But you got to kind of like adopt that character floating out in space for just a little bit, and then you got to let it go on to whatever project you worked on, and it's, you know, in there like a hard digital footprint forever.
Yeah, it's definitely something that few really get to experience at that level.
Yeah. And, you know, in future episodes, we'll definitely talk about certain actors' careers and what actors we look up to, actors and actresses, because that's something that like heavily influences our art and influences everyone's art. And we'll even talk about music and such like that, because that is something that we were both very big into. The amount of Spotify we listen to,
it's a lot.
It's crazy. And in future episodes, we also are going to have some guest stars, some of our friends that work in the community, and such like that. So we're looking very forward to all those episodes coming up.
Yeah, stay tuned. We've got some cool things in the works.
But in the meantime, if you do us a great big favor and head over to Instagram at Jared and Genna and give us a follow and look through some of our content already, please leave a comment for this episode. Let us know what you want to hear next. We'd love to hear from you guys as well, whether you're more of a theater person or whether you're more of a film person.
Or, I mean, we kind of went a little bit different this episode and just talked about some like relationship couple-y stuff. If you're married, about to get married, not interested in getting married at all, but just have questions about what it's like, you can leave comments like that as well. We're here. Yeah, we're here all the time. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We will see you next week on our regularly scheduled episode, 8 a.m. on Tuesday mornings. Bye.